Test mic, test mic. Okay. Uh, I have a fan here. Thank you, thank you. So first of all, I'd like to thank Rec Alicante and everyone who attended here. Thank you very much, and it's an honor to come here and share something that I know to all of you. So I'm here to talk about Vite, and it says here, next generation front-end tooling. I have another title for that. It's insane, fast build tool, Vite. So, yeah, by the way, I'm DEVLIN DULDULAO. I'm currently living and working in Oslo, Norway for 3 years now, originally from Manila, Philippines. So, yeah, let's start. Oh, from Oslo, Norway. Anyone here from Norway? Cool, cool. Okay, so yeah, let's start. So this is a car design that shows you different pieces that were put together to build, this car, right? So similarly, in software applications, these pieces are called modules. You can also say that in React components are the building blocks of a React application. So creating modules to build the software or a car gives, benefits like isolation. So isolation allows people to work individually on the car or the application without delaying someone. So another one, composability. Yes, that clear boundaries for each individual component. They are able to compose each piece together to create fully functional or fully functioning feature. Another one here, reusability. Can reuse the same components. For example, in this car would be the wiper, wheels, seats, etc. Organization, we have that. No? The effect of each individual piece having clear boundaries for how they interact with each other. So that's organization. So question is, how do we modularize our code before? So how do we do that before? So it's like quick history here. So first is IFI. So IFI mimics a module scope, can hide variables, self-contained, etc. IFI help us create module pattern back in the days. And oops, that was fast. There's some delays. CommonJS, built for Node, Node.js originally, and synchronous. And we have here AMD, so a synchronous module definition that's abbreviated as AMD. An example of AMD is require.js. So AMD fixes dependency resolution and pollution of the global scope. We use CommonJS and AMD to share libraries through NPM packages. So how do we use CommonJS in the browser if it's built for Node.js and it is synchronous? So through Browserify, so Browserify is made to support CommonJS in browsers. It is a module bundler that reads all these requires and module exports and bundles all JS files into one bundle.js file, right? And the Browserify, by the way, Browserify needs Gog and Grunt as task runners. That's one that I don't like about it, but we need it. And then here comes Webpack is a module bundler that can do things more than what Browserify can do, such as can detect code you don't use to exclude it while combining files, serialize the code and load it only when it's necessary, monitor file alterations. It's also one of the Webpack characteristics. Another one, it transpiles code to ES5, etc. And what else? It can concatenate multiple files together into a single bundle for the browser. The problem in Webpack is that this process becomes increasingly slow as the app, adds more code and dependencies, right? That's why in 2015, ECMAScript modules were introduced, or ES modules. This is a module system that is now baked in JavaScript language or the ECMAScript. So Um, Out of the box, it supports async loading in modules, the import keyword and export keyword, but it needs a server to be able to fetch import, and it doesn't work on the file protocol. So here comes Vite. So what is a Vite? Um, Vite is a French word, means fast. It is a build tool created by Evan Yu, who's also creator of Vue.js. So this build tool has two major parts that I'd like you to remember: a dev server here, dev server, and a build command, or you can also call it as a pre-configured bundler. So the dev server provides rich feature enhancements over native ES modules, extremely fast hot module replacement, for instance, while the build command bundles your code with ES build in development and roll up in production. So ES build in development, roll up in production. So the ES build does dependency pre-bundling, while roll up does some pre-configuration to output highly optimized static assets for production. So the problem that Vite is trying to solve is the feedback loop speed during development. In Webpack, you have to configure the Webpack the config.js or enable caching, etc., right, to speed up things. And also editing a single file will make you wait for a few seconds to see the updates on the screen in large applications. I don't know if you have a really large project that it takes 10 seconds or 5 seconds before you can see the changes when you're editing some CSS or just editing some strings. Anyways, so this problem is due to the need for bundling. There's no way for the browser to actually support modularized code. That's the reason why we have Browserify, Webpack, Parcel, etc. So that modularized code can become one single file that can be run in the browser. Now, most modern browsers natively supports ES modules. This means that during development, there's a large chunk of work that we actually don't or no longer need to do, because the browser can now handle them natively. So in Vite, you're going to write your code as native ES modules, and Vite will take these ES modules and then parse the files and look for your import statements, and then send HTTP requests for each module to the dev server. So that the key here is that a lot of work is done natively by the browser. Because of this, there's little preparation that you need when you start up the server. So here, another characteristics of Vite is if you have large dependencies, Vite will smartly pre-bundle them using ES build to reduce the number of requests that the browser needs to make to the dev server. And here's the thing here: index.html is the entry point in Vite projects, not main.js that you will often see in Webpack projects. So think of Vite as a server, and index.html is your entry point. Here, dependency pre-bundling ES build. No, that's what Vite has under the hood to do this process, and it's an excellent build and transpile tool written in Go, created by Evan Wallace, by the way. And I have a benchmarking here using large rack app with more than 100 MB of code. So in the end, ES build and another one here, by the way, SWC, performed comparably well, between 4 to 25 times as fast as Babel or Babel, and through 3 to 9 times as fast as TypeScript compiler. And yeah, by the way, I mentioned SWC. That's also a transpiler similar to ESBuild, but written in Rust. So yeah, putting this all together, Vite provide us with extremely fast and lean development experience. So basically, Vite again is here to help us write code and see that module replacement while we're in development. So browser support. Here it is. By default, targets browser that support native GSM. Everything. Let's just skip that. Using plugins. So this is part of Vite. Vite can be extended using plugins, which are based on rollups plugin interface. And to start Vite, you can just run this command, npm create Vite latest. You're using yarn, create Vite, and then pnpm for anyone who's using pnpm, create Vite. Then just follow the prompts. You can see what kind of frameworks you can use there. You won't see Angular, by the way, because Angular is not yet supported. But I think there's a library that's open source that they're building just to make it compatible with Angular. So here, this is how you, for example, how you would migrate a React app, a large React app into Vite. But I would highly suggest don't remove the React scripts in your libraries or in your npm dependencies. Just add Vite and then create this index.html. That's one. This is a part of migration, and make sure you have this in this index.html in the root file, root directory. And here, normally we have this npm run start, right? Using React scripts. So if you're planning to use Vite, just create another npm or npm scripts. Start :Vite, that would work, and then add Vite right after installing Vite. So again, you don't have to remove React scripts. You can just add Vite on top of your application, just for you to help while writing code. And then tsconfig, if you're using TypeScript, just add these types, Vite/client, and viteconfig.ts, right? So basically, these are the few things that you just have to do. Really quick, I'm almost done here. So viteconfig, just add these plugins. These are just in examples. And another thing that you need to remember in Vite is that using env files or environment variables will look like this. There's a prefix Vite and then underscore, and then you can use whatever you want. But this is how you would do it: Vite underscore app underscore title if you planning to use this, and then now you can use that app underscore title just to use any values you'd like to put in your environment variables. So going back, again, you can use Vite anytime in your existing project. You don't have to tell your tech lead or your lead developer. Just add them, but don't forget to uncheck them when you're sending a pull request or when you're committing it, so that it will not be included in your commits. Uncheck it, try it. While writing code, you have this. Add this start :Vite, run it, npm run start :Vite. Make sure you have the tsconfig if you're using TypeScript. For the plugins, you have this define config, right? And then if you have some env variables, try to use this there. So yeah, try Vite. It's really, really good. It feels like your big application is slow when development becomes really, really quick. You can see the changes right away. It doesn't matter how big your application is. You can see these changes right away, like a snap. Yeah. So docs, you can see it here, vitejs.dev. So gracias.